Welcome, everyone, to the Nebraska Shrine Bowl selection show here on Striv Sports. We're on our website. We're on Twitter. I think we're on Facebook somewhere. Wherever you might be watching us from, thanks for joining us today as we reveal the rosters for the 63rd edition of the Nebraska Shrine Bowl to be contested this summer. Ron and Carol Koch Stadium at the University of Nebraska Kearney, scheduled to be the location. My name is Eric Allgood, Striv Sports Director, and Mike Sautter from NEBpreps.com. We get to call you the sports director for NEB Preps now, right, Mike? The man who's everywhere. We're putting a little pause in the basketball content to talk some football on a snowy day in February. This is okay with me, though.
It works for me just fine. It's good. Good to join you, and happy to kind of be here.
So we're going to talk over the next probably around an hour or so. We're going to reveal the entire rosters for this summer's edition of the Shrine Bowl Classic, like we said, at UNK. And then we're going to talk with some of the coaches and the players as well, because as always happens with the Shrine Bowl, it is one of the premier all-star events of the summer. And Mike, as we're about to look at some of the names, but just in general, looking at past names and the past guys that have been a part of this event. Every year, the Shrine Bowl takes a great number of some really top quality content and some quality players and coaches from the state of Nebraska.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically the who's who of high school football. If you're anybody that's anybody, you play in the Shrine Bowl if you can, right? Sometimes, different colleges, I guess recently or the last 10 years, haven't allowed sometimes some kids to play, or some kids are already, at their selected university and getting in spring ball and stuff like that, or getting ready to start spring ball. So there'll be some names that that probably are, I guess, omitted, but that's probably the reason why is they can't play in the game. So, but all in all, looking at the rosters, there's some big names on those rosters that last fall a lot of people, will recognize, right? So, yeah, pretty excited to reveal these things, I guess.
Right. Let's get to it, and let's start with the South squad there. Head coach Mark McLaughlin from Platteview has his assistants there already named out, and you can see there's going to be some names that jump off the page pretty quick. Mike, and what's the first couple ones that you notice right away?
Well, if you just look, I go to kind of the state champions, right, in Class A. Cole Payton, the quarterback, who's headed to North Dakota State. He's kind of one of the headliners, and his teammate Cade Haberman, who's I think at a wrestling meet today. He's on there. Barrett Liebentritt from Scott's another really big name. Because if you're playing in this game, you're a big name, right? But I'm just talking from a sort of overall standpoint. You look at that and you're like, okay, like we got some names here. TJ Urban, who's committed to Air Force to play quarterback. So you have two kind of all-state quarterbacks on the same team, and both of them can run the ball really well. So I don't know if Coach McLaughlin is just going to run a bunch of quarterback draw or, stuff like that, or quarterback QB run game, but it certainly looks as though it's a possibility. Sam Scott, who's signed with Wyoming from Omaha Scud, originally from Omaha North, he's a big name too that's on this list. So pretty good overall list, I guess. And Del Castillo from Fall City Sacred Heart is another one that you look at and you're like, oh man, all right. There's a couple of Nebraska walk-on signees, Maddox Burton, Tavion Thompson from Southeast are on this team too. So kind of some beef in the middle there. And Dylan Myers, a really nice linebacker from Norris as well.
And then some of the smaller school athletes that will be participating. Delton Haynes from Dundee County Stratton was a D1 state champion. Brandon Beeson from Tri-County will be there. Weston Ryman from Weeping Water as well, and Kyle Sterup, who are kind of sandwiched around there on that bottom right of our graphic there around Del Castillo. Sterup, part of the OHP with Osceola and High Plains championship team from 2019. but some great athletes, obviously. And then we should probably mention the rest of the coaches here, Mike. We mentioned Mark McLaughlin from Platteview, but Dustin Kronhoffman from Arapahoe, Tim Clemenger from Papillion La Vista South, Tony Jansen from Auburn, Jeff Montgomery from Gibbon, and Jordan Bald from Platteview will join his head coach, Mark McLaughlin, as the coaches for the South team. Always fun to see the coaches from different parts of the state be able to come together and make up a coaching staff for at least 1 week of the school year.
Right. It's kind of cool, being sort of around, I guess, the Shrine Bowl for different media days. And a few years ago, I just spent a whole day at practices and everything. It's kind of neat how they just kind of mesh together. And there's a lot of planning, obviously, that goes into it ahead of time, and who wants to run what and how, and plays in that. So that certainly feels like a pretty tough task, but for some way they get it done every year.
So now let's take a look at the North squad. Head coach Kirk Frenzen from Lakeview will be heading up this squad here. Judson Hall from Scotts Bluff, Mike Kale from Gretna, Russ Plegger from Wayne, Jeff Bargan from Lakeview, and Wade McVeigh from Bellevue West will all be a part of the North squad coaching staff. But on this side, we see a couple of T-Birds that were on that Bellevue West squad, and some more big names on here as well, Mike, including a couple of the kids from Ord, Kellen Meyer and Tommy Stevens, that people have enjoyed watching in the central part of the state for the last few years.
Yeah, state championship team, right? So, looking at it too, you have Jack McDonald is a multiple-time All-State team. Cal Napier from Aquinas is another multiple-year All-State guy. Aiden Young from Elkhorn, who is walking on at Nebraska. Isaac Zadiska from Elkhorn South and his teammate Cooper Taylor, both 3-year starters on that offensive line for the Class A runner-ups. And Zane Schwang is really good from Waverly, nice athlete. Tony, I can never pronounce it, from Scotts Bluff. Tony Mokiak from Scotts Bluff. He's headed to Iowa Western. Michael Brands is another good linebacker. Hunter Push is headed to South Dakota on scholarship. So, it's a nice balanced team. Jimmy Quinton is kind of quarterback and from Millard North, who's another really good athlete. Trevor Marshall can really good wide receiver from Gretna. Aiden Garcia is about 320 and a big kind of beefy lineman too. So he's headed to Bemidji State. Tyler LeClaire at Bennington, one of the better athletes. Him and Dexter Larson are two of kind of just the better all-around athletes in the state in any class. So Tommy McAvoy, same thing, really, really good athlete for Clarkson Lee. And another name on here, Chris Graham, is man, they got some size on this team. On the lines, there's some big old boys on the line. Nolan Gossica is headed to Buffalo on scholarship, and that's the one thing that kind of stands out to me is a lot of size. Even Gannon Gregor can play tight end, wide receiver, punter, linebacker. Pretty sure he's headed to Northwest Missouri State to play football. I mean, you look at this as the one thing is really good athletes and a lot of size. Cale Bird put up a bunch of numbers at quarterback for Bennington this past year. So, yeah, it's Parker Jenke's a really nice kicker and good athlete. I mean, there's some this team looks pretty good, and just kind of glancing at it.
Yeah, the North team with between Janke and Kellen Meyer walking on at Nebraska as a kicker too. So options there for the coaching staff. And I think if we're not out of turn right now, we have some of our coaches ready to go. In fact, I think it is Kurt Frenzen from Lakeview will be heading up the North squad. We'll get Coach here. Coach, thanks for joining us today. And I guess first of all, congratulations on the head coaching gig there for the Shrine Bowl this summer. Talk to us a little bit about what it means to be able to say you're a head coach of an event like this.
Well, it's amazing to say the least. Thinking back to when I first got into coaching high school football in Nebraska, and sitting at clinics as a young coach back in 1996, 97. And at that point in time on the clinic circuit, you had names like Gene Serve from Papillion. You had Dan McLaughlin from Millard West at that point in time, just had recently moved over from Norfolk. Jaworski from Creighton Prep. Mazurski from Lincoln Southeast. Walt Olson, who I had a chance to coach for at Hastings High right out of college. Tim Allward from Pius. Those guys were all head coaches and big-time head coaches at that time in Nebraska. And that's when I was coming out. I remember sitting at clinics, admiring those guys and what they were doing with their football programs. And all those guys had the opportunity to be a head coach in this game, the biggest all-star game that we have in Nebraska, to even have the opportunity to even share the same stage that they once were on and be mentioned in the same breath as those great coaches. And the list could go on and on. But those are the guys that were big clinic guys for me at that point in time. It's surreal to say the least. And to be quite honest with you, it's one of those honors that you really shoot for, but you don't ever know that you'll quite get that opportunity. So to have that opportunity is an unbelievable experience. I'm excited to say the least.
What is it? You talked about the honor, but I guess I mentioned it briefly, but what kind of challenges go into putting together a staff? And, how much prep work ahead of time? I'm sure you've already started kind of diving into, okay, this is the offense we want to run, and kind of paring down plays and things like that. What kind of work goes into that?
Well, technology these days is a lot better than it was even back when I first had the opportunity to be an assistant coach back in 2014. So there's a lot of, you can jump on Huddle at any point in time. Kids are great about posting their highlight film. So a lot of that legwork is done prior to us really getting into the selection process. But the technology part's made it a lot easier. The biggest thing is probably as much as anything, it's probably been as challenging as much as anything, is just trying to vet the kids as much as possible. And are they going to play first and foremost if they're given the opportunity to play? And the next thing is making sure that we have the right type of kid on our roster. We want to make sure that we do our background and the kids that not only represent their school and their family the right way when they're at the Shrine Bowl, but they're also representing the Shrine Bowl and, having a great connection with the kids when they're out there. And then are they the type of kid that's going to understand, the real true purpose why we're playing this game is, and that's for the Shriners Hospital and the kids that benefit from the Shriners Hospital. So all those things are, are part of that go into this process. But quite honestly, I wouldn't categorize it as a challenge. I would more say that it's a fun process, and anytime you get to deal with the high-end kids that we get to deal with through this process, it's exciting to say the least, and it's been nothing but fun, to be honest with you.
Coach, if you could real quick, talk a little bit about how you've put the rest of the staff together and maybe what you're looking forward to the most out of the guys that will be quote-unquote assistants, although bringing all the head coach knowledge with them.
Well, first and foremost, the Shrine staff does a tremendous job of getting coaches that, fit what we want being on the Shrine Bowl staff. First and foremost, they've got to be able to build relations with kids. And so I know they do their homework. And the thing is about the Shrine game, you got to do that in a short amount of time. So they're going to get high-end communicators. And it's just not only the success on the field, I think that goes into it as well, too. And so the staff that we have put together obviously has had very good success over the last few years. Russ Plager from Wayne obviously has done a great job with Wayne, and Blue Devils have had great runs through the last few years. Scotts Bluff, I think we all are aware of what they've been able to do out there and done a great job. Coach Hall has been tremendous on the western part of the state, kind of giving us some insight, some of those kids that are out that way. Coach Kale at Gretna had a great year this year and some unbelievable athletes that he's been able to develop there. Those guys, first and foremost, just on our staff, along with the other ones that we have. Jeff Bargan is my assistant. A a lot of people would know Coach Bargan through the wrestling community. What he's done with our wrestling program at Lakeview is unbelievable, to be quite honest with you. Our team went from being, towards the bottom of the pack in our conference, which I think Central Conference in wrestling is one of the toughest conferences you could ever have, to winning that conference or finishing runner-up, and then being also on the main stage of Class B wrestling. I'm very fortunate to have him as my defensive coordinator. And he's a heck of a football coach, to say the least. He's just a great teacher, to be honest with you. And then Coach McAvoy from Bell West, obviously, and what he's been able to do with the T-Bird defense over the last few years is awesome. They've been able to get a great defense in there with what was already an awesome offense. So we're very fortunate with the staff that we had, and we got guys from across the state that, with Northeast Nebraska, where Coach Plager and I are from, a little bit more North Central. And then Coach Hall out west, and then around the metro with everybody else around there. So we feel like we've got a good variety and guys that can come in and advocate for kids in their area, and we feel to put a very good roster together.
So some big energy assistant coaches on your staff.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're going to be there for a week, and so you're going to want to make sure that you have guys that are going to be able to carry that energy all the way through the week. And that's, how it is. It's contagious. If you got a coaching staff that can be excited about being somewhere and be energized, usually that's going to definitely spill over onto your roster. And, I would say that we have that type of group that's going to be able to do that.
Coach, thank you so much for joining us today. I know this is a cool honor, and I know we've got a lot of guys in the building. So you guys probably need to shake some hands and say hello to some other guys. But thanks for joining us today. I think we're going to get Coach McLaughlin in here now. So we'll do a little switcheroo. Maybe, Taylor, we can show the rosters again. But, Coach, thanks a lot for joining us today. So we'll take a look again here at the South Squad roster. No, we'll go back to the North. That's fine. Mike and I were talking about some of the guys earlier that we will also be talking to some of them. I understand Mike Brands from Oakland Craig is going to be able to join us in person here in just a little bit. Some other guys, Mike, that you are looking forward to. Nolan Gossica will be with us as well. But some other guys that maybe we didn't mention the first time around as we get Coach ready to go.
Yeah, you made. I want to go back to the point you made about the kickers. Parker Jenke and Kellen Meyer. They should just. It'd be really fun to just have a kicking competition and see who can make the most 60+ yard field goals. Like in a practice, can I be there for that practice? Yeah. It'd be fun. Kikoa Chai is another guy from Bellevue West I've seen a lot. Another big guy. There's a lot of, I guess, beef. Is that the correct term on this team? So he's another guy. Shea Gossett's a really nice player too. Basically, if you look at it, this team, the line play on this team is pretty good. I just kind of glancing at it without diving too deep. I think it's really good.
Yeah, you mentioned there will be some beef, and there's some good athletes that will be in the backfield for these for this North squad as well. Taylor is producing our show, so while we get a chance before we talk to Coach McLaughlin again, why don't we take a look at the South team, if we could quickly. And again, kind of a little bit of a recap of who we will see. A couple of names that popped out to me there, Mike, was on the right side, Slade Smith and Tyler Slechta from Adams Central on the runner-up Patriots from this past fall. They played a Pierce team that was really young. So we're going to see a couple of Blue Jays, I have a feeling, have this opportunity in a few years. But Slade and Tyler will be great additions to the South squad.
Yeah, and another really good athlete, Brody Darnell's going to Iowa Western to play baseball. It's another kind of really good athlete there. And, when you look at it, and we mentioned it before, but the quarterbacks, I think, are the kind of headline this roster. You have Cole Payton and TJ Urban, who both are, Division I quarterbacks. That doesn't happen very often in this game or really kind of ever. And then, I mean, just looking at Weston Ryman is walking on at Nebraska as an offensive lineman, big kid too. Adam Egert is a baseball prospect that's looking to play college baseball somewhere. So another one of those kind of multi-purpose athlete guys. And Carson Shoemaker from Hastings caught a ton of balls for a ton of yards for them. So it's definitely Caden Reynolds is a really nice pass rusher, defensive end for Omaha Central. Who it's nice. I guess I mentioned this too. It's nice to see Central and Bryan and kind of some OPS kids represented in this game, even though they didn't get a chance to play in the fall. To kind of give them an opportunity was really neat to see. Because they didn't get to play in the fall. So kind of cool that some of those OPS kids get a chance to play in this game.
Absolutely. Taylor, if we're ready, I think we can talk to Coach McLaughlin now, and we'll get him pulled up there. Coach, thanks for joining us today. And again, congratulations on the head coaching job here for the Shrine Bowl. Talk to us a little bit about what it means for you to be able to represent your school and community in this event.
Well, first off, thanks for having us. Appreciate all that Strive does for high school sports in Nebraska, especially in these times where attendance is limited at events and things. So I know out of the kids we selected, I was able to go through and look at some stuff on Strive. Obviously there's Huddle, but watching them play basketball or wrestle or whatever, and a lot of that stuff you can get on Strive and various other things. So Shrine Bowl's tremendous event. Coach Frenzen touched on it. I would say that the Shrine Bowl is the most prestigious sporting event that our state has, and to be selected to coach in the game is a high honor that I never thought I would have the chance to get, and I'm looking forward to it. More importantly, 45 kids that I wouldn't have met throughout doing anything else. So I'm thankful for that opportunity and the experience that these kids get at camp. The game is great, and playing football one more time for some of these kids, a last time, is great. But the day that the patients come to UNK is a day that these kids will never forget. It's a life-changing event, and it's really humbling to be a part of it.
Mike, you got anything?
Yeah, sorry. What is kind of like I talked with Coach Frenzen is putting together a staff. Like what all goes into that? Is it just, okay, I have relationships with guys, or is it more than that?
We're given the Shrine Bowl does a terrific job of finding head coaches from various spots in the state to serve as assistants. And then we go find a few more that, when I say we, Coach Frenzen and I go find a few more that we want to have. And for me, when I was a 22-year-old kid out of college, Jeff Montgomery in Gibbon took me in as a student teacher and assistant football coach. And he gave me my first chance to really get into high school coaching. And, you're 22 years old and think you know everything. And I learned pretty quick that I didn't. And selecting him as an assistant was a no-brainer. I mean, he taught me just about everything I know, him and Mark Wortman. So I've had some tremendous mentors, and having Coach Montgomery on staff was easy. Then obviously having Coach Bald, one of my assistants at Platteview, gives us a little bit of consistency. And, you talked about young energy. He's got it. He's in the best shape of his life. We'll have to keep him from strapping on the pads because he's pretty intense. And then if you don't follow Dustin Kronhoffman on Twitter, you need to. Because he's hilarious, and the kids will love him. I don't think he eats anything that isn't meat. That's all he eats. So it's awesome to watch him. But I think a big part of it is the coaches. You get these kids for a week. So, we're not running a boot camp. We want to have fun. We want loose personalities. We want coaches that the kids can relate to. Everybody has scheme. Everybody's got stuff, and we're not interested in that. We're more interested in the kind of man that the coach is and whether the kids are going to want to play for him.
Coach, as we looked at your roster for the South squad, you guys have got some fantastic athletes, and we're going to talk to a few of them. But Cole Payton is going to be one that would get. I think any coach in the state would be excited to coach a player like him. What are you kind of expecting, not just from Cole, but from all of these guys as they get ready for this week?
Like you said, there are some incredible players. Mm-hmm. You get the list of nominated players, and that's a whole nother topic. So, some kids that you think would be a no-brainer for the Shrine Bowl aren't on the nomination list for one reason or another. And you talked about having 2 D1 quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. Heinrich Harburg would have been a South team player, but he enrolled early at Nebraska, so he's not eligible to play. But this is kind of a rare year in Nebraska football where you have multiple Division I caliber quarterbacks, and they all would have been on the Shrine or the South Shrine team. So it's awesome to have them, and we don't want to uncover too many secrets, but we've got several ideas for Mr. Payton, and as you guys already know, he's a Division I quarterback, but he's a pretty good outside linebacker too. So you take a kid like that, you're not taking a kid to play one half of the game. We need to find a way that a kid like Cole Payton can play quarterback, and when he's not playing quarterback, where else can he play? And fortunately for us, there's a lot of places he can play. So same with Urban. He's a great quarterback, but he can also play safety, and he did that this year at Millard South. Brody Darnell, another kid that you've talked about a little bit. He's a great baseball player. He was Auburn's quarterback. He also punts the ball 60 yards. So, and he's a tremendous safety. Most of the kids that we took knowing that we can use them in one spot, but they're also going to fit in another. Especially in these times where you're one positive test away or one close contact away from sitting out for 14 days, we got to have some kids we can move around. And the kids that you've mentioned are certainly those kids.
Cole Payton, he can play a little tight end too. So maybe that's
I think Cole Payton could play
whatever
just about anywhere we asked him to. I don't know if he can kick a ball. We'll have to find that out.
That sounds like day one of practice to be finding the kickers. Coach, thanks so much for joining us today. I know it's going to be a lot of fun. You guys have still a big luncheon yet to go to, so we'll let you get to that, and we will keep going on with the show. But thanks for joining us today.
Appreciate all your coverage, and thanks a lot for your time.
All right, we're going to take a real quick commercial break, and when we come back, we've got some more of the players of the 63rd Annual Nebraska Shrine Bowl lined up to talk with us. So stay with us here on the Nebraska Shrine Bowl Reveal Show on Striv.
Who can help your child conquer their orthopedic condition? Shriners Hospitals for Children. Our world-class care is not limited to insurance networks or to what's been done before. We research, we innovate, we do whatever it takes to treat any orthopedic condition and inspire your child to live a great life. Shriners Hospitals for Children, the most amazing care anywhere.
Thanks to you that we're where we are today. We're proud to watch these communities grow because they're our communities too. Our neighbors, our friends. It's where we live. These are all our hometowns. And no matter what, The people who will continue to serve your needs with the hometown support you know and trust are just down the street. Cornerstone Bank. Growing together.
Midland's mission is to inspire people to learn and lead in the world with purpose.
I was in college down in Milford. My dad owns a couple trucks, so he brings them here. He's heard about the scholarship, told me about it. I applied, got it, and so helped me through college. But once I graduated from college, came straight here, started working right away. Here, if I have questions, all the techs are real helpful. Come talk to them. Then also got training down in Omaha we get sent to for engine and truck side, so it really helps out. Work on everything, I mean, not just Freightliner, we work on everything here, and so there's always something new. The pay is great and have full benefits. I would recommend truck center companies to people that are looking is because it's a good place to start out, really gain knowledge from here.
Pantry, the only thing more surprising than our variety of name brand snacks is the variety of people who walk through our front doors. And at this point, nothing you ask for surprises us. From tube chips, tri-cornered tortilla crisps, icing bluffs, pressurized buttery corn puffs, meat missiles, small people covered in sour crystals, protein cocoon, pizza chews, tree sprites, chocolate stripes, stuff we can't advertise. Sweet, salty, also sour. Adolescent jet power. No matter who you are or what you're craving, we got it. Pump up your day at Pumpin' Pantry.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard gives me a lot of opportunities. I have the ability to serve close to home, wherever that may be in the volunteer state. It also provides tuition benefits, making it possible to get the education I've always wanted. And since my service is part-time, I can pursue my dream job in the career field I choose. With part-time service in the Army National Guard, I really can have it all.
Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Go get it, Zach!
Welcome back to the 63rd Shrine Bowl Selection Show. This is only the second show we've done. It's the 63rd Shrine Bowl coming up this summer. This is the second Shrine Bowl Selection Show on Strive. I'm Eric Allgood. Mike Sautter is with us, and we're going to get to more of the players who are going to be participating this summer at UNK, Ron and Carroll Cope Stadium. It's that first Saturday of June that they will be participating in the game, but it's a big week coming right off the Memorial Day holiday. And Mike, I don't think we need to wait too much longer. We can get it our first player in here, if you will. Cole Payne from Omaha West Side is joining us now. And Cole, first of all, congratulations on the selection, and talk to us a little bit about what it feels like to be able to represent West Side in this opportunity for this game.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. I'm just really excited and honored to be a part of the Shrine Bowl. You know, I'm looking forward to getting to know some of the guys, maybe creating relationships with not only some of the best players in the state, but my coaches. So just super thankful and really excited.
Cole, Coach McLaughlin mentioned, maybe using you a few different ways in the game. And something you're clearly used to, right?
Yeah, I mean, this last season I got the chance to play a little linebacker and safety and even some tight end. And so I'm up for whatever. I'll do whatever to contribute to my team in any way they need me. So
that's kind of the theme with Cole Payton, I think. Quick question, because I think some people, have thought about it. I mean, and maybe I'm the only one, I guess. Maybe not. But are you, after the game, then you're headed to North Dakota State? Is that right?
Yeah, I'll head up there. I few days after the Shrine Bowl game. So I'm itching to get up there. I obviously can't wait to play in the Shrine Bowl game, but I'm ready to go to college.
Is you know, you and the other kind of athletes in the room, I mean, you and Cade are teammates. That's kind of fun to play in this game, obviously friends. You and TJ Urban have had some battles against each other, playing against each other, and this year you had one that was a really close game. Have you talked to TJ about kind of the game yet, or is that kind of we'll wait for that whenever you get into camp?
Yeah, I haven't talked to him yet at all about it. I'm sure since we're on the same team playing quarterback, and we'll definitely do some talking and maybe some chirping at each other. I don't know.
I just imagine. I'm just trying to think, like, as an offensive coordinator, the creativity that will happen here with that roster. So, like, imagine some, like, double passes, reverses, all kinds of crazy stuff with you guys in the backfield.
Yeah, I was talking with Coach McLaughlin before this interview, and he was like, after this luncheon, we're gonna sit down and maybe draw a few things up, talk about what we like, and I don't know, just ultimately have some fun with it.
Yeah.
Cole, you get to play in a game, and that's a lot of fun as an athlete, because you get to play against these guys that you don't always see from other parts of the state. So for you guys looking at playing with some of these smaller school players as well, but the visit with the Shriners Hospital patients is a huge part, and obviously this game is part of a big fundraiser for that. What are you looking forward to when those visits happen throughout that week?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great experience. The Shrine Bowl is all about playing for something bigger than yourself, bigger than the game itself. That's what football is, but I just can't wait to be humbled by those experiences and enjoy them with great people.
Let's take a look, if we can, Taylor, if we can pull up the South roster and kind of go through that. I know we've talked a little bit about the different guys that are on here, but anybody else in particular that you're excited to play with instead of against, maybe in this game, Cole?
Like you mentioned before, I think it'll be nice to have TJ on our side, because he's one great athlete. Sam Scott's a great running back, and I've got to work out with him a couple times last year, and he's a great runner, and so handing the ball to him will be easy.
Mike, what else you got?
No, not much. I mean, I'm kind of, like I said, I'm just excited to see the creativity on offense. I keep going back to that for some reason, but when you have that many athletes, it's kind of fun. Sam, you brought up Sam Scott, Cole. I can't remember if you guys played. Did you play against him when he was at North? Did you guys play them?
No.
Okay.
We were going to week 2, but since OBS didn't play, we did not.
Probably a good thing, rather than like taking a hit from him as a linebacker. Is probably not the most ideal situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Cole. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yep. We're going to get things switched out real quick, and I think the next guy on our list will be from the 2019 C2 champs. Excited to talk to this guy. Mike Brands from Oakland Craig is going to join us here. Hopefully, I think it's Mike anyway. I guess we'll find out in here in a second. as the list is going, but seeing some activity on Twitter, and there's we mentioned there's always, Mike, when you get to an all-star game, there's always some people that are able to play because they can commit right away, and then there's other circumstances that says I can't get. One of them was we mentioned Jarrett Sinek. Wow, yeah, that's a really good quarterback that's not playing in the game, right? So there's some tough tough calls on some of this stuff, and yeah, we can't have everybody play, unfortunately.
Right. Another guy that people look at and be like, well, why isn't he on there? Keegan Johnson from Bellevue West, the receiver, he's already at Iowa. So same thing with Heinrich Hardberg, he's already at Nebraska. So you kind of, Teddy Prohaska is another guy, he's already at Nebraska. So when you look at it, that there's those circumstances that just, you know, kind of want to allow them to play in the game.
All right, Taylor, I'm playing. Yeah, there's Mike. Okay, somebody better looking than me on the screen, please. That'd be great. Mike Branch from Oakland Craig joining us on the show. And Mike, first of all, congratulations on the selection. And again, talk to us about what it means to be able to represent some of the smaller schools here in the Shrine Bowl.
It's truly an honor to be a part of the Shrine Bowl. Coming from Oakland, we haven't had somebody in 5-6 years participate in this event, so it really is an honor, and I'm really glad the coaches are looking at those smaller schools and those kids who maybe haven't got all the looks that the other kids have, and it really is just an honor.
Is it what does it kind of not mean, I guess, but yes, playing in the game and being selected is great, but a part of the Shrine Bowl is obviously the interaction with the kids and kind of doing that thing. What does that kind of mean to you? How much are you looking forward to that part of kind of maybe, you know, helping change a kid's life or being looked up to in that way?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely excited to meet a bunch of new players and meet a bunch of new coaches and get out there and get opportunities that maybe a lot of kids don't have. And it's always nice to be able to meet all those new people in the sport and how it brings people together like that.
Mike, you were part of a senior class this year that had a tremendous run for Oakland Craig, like we mentioned before, 2019 champs, a tremendous year this year. What does it mean to be able to be at least part of that group that gets to be on a bigger stage, but also to a certain extent represent those guys that you grew up with?
It's just an honor to be representing that group of kids. It was a great run at Oakland, and I'm excited to, you know, move on to the college level and represent Oakland in that way. So, yeah.
Cool. Mike, anything else? I feel like the Brady Bunch here. Like I should look up sideways.
Which Mike are you talking about? Me or
Mike Sautter? Mike Sautter.
This one. Mike, I got a chance to see you play a handful of times, I think, in your high school career. And what is, you know, you make big plays as a linebacker. Is that kind of something you're excited to show, you know, against a different level of competition in this game?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a little bit nerve-wracking to go up against some bigger kids, and you know, it's also exciting though because I've never really had the opportunity of playing at such a high level, and it'll definitely be a good experience getting ready for college ball. And no, it's very exciting to be able to get to show that on a bigger stage for sure than what I had in high school.
Yeah.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing you tangle it up with some of those big fellas. So good luck in the game and enjoy the experience. It'll be a ton of fun.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Mike.
All right. I think we have time perhaps right now, maybe for a real quick break, and we'll get into a couple more interviews. And then at the end, we're going to hear from Dave McDonald, who's the executive director. I don't think we've talked about this yet, but yeah, we want to talk to Dave about the Shrine Bowl itself, about the game and the fundraising efforts that go into it as well for the Shriners Hospital. So come back with us. We'll be right back on the Shrine Bowl Selection Show on Striv.
Who can help your child conquer their orthopedic condition? Shriners Hospitals for Children. Our world-class care is not limited to insurance networks or to what's been done before. We research, we innovate, we do whatever it takes to treat any orthopedic condition and inspire your child to live a great life. Shriners Hospitals for Children. The most amazing care anywhere.
Thanks to you that we're where we are today. We're proud to watch these communities grow because they're our communities too. Our neighbors, our friends. It's where we live. These are all our hometowns. And no matter what, the people who will continue to serve your needs with the hometown support you know and trust are just down the street. Cornerstone Bank. Growing together.
Midland's mission is to inspire people to learn and lead in the world with purpose.
I was in college down in Milford. My dad owns a couple trucks, so he brings them here. He's heard about the scholarship, told me about it. I applied, got it, and so helped me through college. But once I graduated from college, came straight here, started working right away. Here, if I have questions, all the techs are real helpful. Come talk to them. Then also got training down in Omaha we get sent to for engine and truck side, so it really helps out. Work on everything, I mean, not just Freightliner, we work on everything here, and so there's always something new. The pay is great and have full benefits. I would recommend truck center companies to people that are looking is because it's a good place to start out, really gain knowledge from here.
Pumpkin Pantry, the only thing more surprising than our variety of name brand snacks is the variety of people who walk through our front doors. And at this point, nothing you ask for surprises us. From tube chips, tri-cornered tortilla crisps, icing bluffs, pressurized buttery corn puffs, meat missiles, small people covered in sour crystals, protein cocoon, pizza chews, tree sprites, chocolate stripes, stuff we can't advertise. Sweet, salty, also sour, adolescent jet power. No matter who you are or what you're craving, we got it. Pump up your day at Pumpkin Pantry.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard gives me a lot of opportunities. I have the ability to serve close to home, wherever that may be in the volunteer state. It also provides tuition benefits, making it possible to get the education I've always wanted. And since my service is part-time, I can pursue my dream job in the career field I choose. With part-time service in the Army National Guard, I really can have it all.
Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Welcome back to the Nebraska Shrine Bowl selection show here on Striv. I'm Eric Allgood. Mike Sautter is with us today. And we've got a couple of guys yet to talk to before we get to the 1 o'clock hour. And one of them is joining us right now, Nolan Gossica from Omaha Roncalli. Nolan, thanks for coming on the show here today. I know we got lunch for you, so we'll let you get back to that here in just a second. But congratulations on the nominee and the acceptance to participate in the Shrine Bowl. And tell us real quick what you're most looking forward to for this week.
Nolan?
You're kind of choppy. This is the first question about like being just like invited. I am extremely excited to be invited to Shrine Bowl. It's an awesome opportunity for players, coaches, just everyone around and involved in it. I'm excited that I get to join the ranks of the former Roncalli Shrine Bowl players like Alex Rogers and Jack Dotzler. To be pushed into a group with those two is kind of like a dream for me. Those are the guys that I idolized as a freshman and as an eighth grader. Watching those guys play, they were like, "That's Roncalli," and I get to be, Roncalli now. So I'm extremely excited to be invited to Shrine Bowl. It's a great opportunity for just to play high school football one more time.
Nolan, you're filling up that chair pretty well there. You been lifting some weights or what?
Occasionally, yeah. Yeah, that, and I forewent basketball this season, started to wrestle. So, it's also a pretty small chair. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It doesn't fit someone of my stature, but Yeah, I've been lifting from time to time. Also, it's the same jersey I wore my freshman year. So it's only a large. I wear like a 2X. So, yeah, just a big kid, I guess.
That's fine. So again, multi-sport guy, right? Are you playing baseball this spring again?
Yeah, I'm just playing the spring season. I go to Buffalo June 19th. So I decided not to even play Legion, just kind of enjoying my time in Omaha until I get to leave.
So kind of right after the Shrine Bowl. What is Buffalo, it snows a lot and it's cold. So what drew you, right, to Buffalo?
A lot of things. Coach Fuchs and Coach Leipold are two guys I could really get behind. And then what further cemented my decision was their awesome season this year. Top 25 is, I don't want to say rare. It's like 1/5 of the FBS teams, but they're in that rank, and I want to play a high-level football and just be the best. So got a great start there. Academics is awesome there. One of the top engineering schools. I plan on studying civil engineering. I've got family up there too. Didn't really go much to the decision, but it definitely helps to have another kind of nucleus of people that I am really familiar with, even though I'm 16 hours away from home.
Right. A nice little built-in support system that,
yes,
if you need like a dinner on a Sunday or something, you can go. Got it. All right, man. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Good seeing you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nolan. Hopefully the audio is a little better now. I guess I was a little choppy before, so I apologize on that. Mike sounded fine. Nolan sounded like he's got the good rattle going, like he's the big fella that he is. So I think one of our next guests that hopefully will be joining us here in just a minute is going to be Sam Scott from Scott Catholic High School. So excited to talk to Sam. We can also tell you that Tommy McAvoy is in studio. So we'll bring in Tommy in just a minute. But Sam is joining us right now. Sam, hopefully this is coming across okay and you can hear me fine. But congratulations on the nominee, and tell us a little bit about what you're looking forward to for this week for the Shrine Bowl.
Really, I'm looking forward to meeting everybody, the guys in my team, getting together with guys I haven't talked to in a while. I know my good friend Hunter Push is on the north side, so it'll be fun to talk to them and just get ready for training. And yeah, it's going to be a fun time.
Hopefully Hunter gets to play a little defensive line, or you get to play some linebacker or something, right? You can kind of hit each other a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be fun to go against my old bud. But yeah, just playing running back, linebacker, wherever they want to put me. I just love running around on the field and having fun. So yeah, I'm excited for that.
You made the move, obviously after OPS canceled the season. You made the move to Scott, and it seemed to be a nice move and work out really well for you. Reflecting back on that decision, would you have done it all over again?
For sure, I would have. COVID changes a lot of things. Obviously, if COVID didn't, I'd still would be with my friends from North. Mm-hmm. But even what happened was great. All the kids on Scott Catholic were extremely accepting of me, and it's just a really cool experience to be a part of. And I wish we would have made it a little bit further in the playoffs, but things happen. I got injured, so I didn't get to play my last game. So, but other than that, it was a really great experience.
When do you head to Wyoming?
I believe it's somewhere around the beginning of June. Can't remember the exact date, but it's the 7th, I believe.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Got my buddy Tommy back there.
One last thing too, because the North thing is great. Because I know Coach Martin, I think, pretty well, and he was a big support system for you in making that decision, and you still have a really, really good relationship with him, right?
Yeah. I remember the night I decided I decided I was gonna go to Scud. I actually told him before the night. That was a hard phone call to make because like you go to North and you build relationships with all the coaches and you love them so much, but you have to do to leave. So that was hard, but I still have a good relationship with him.
What's maybe the you said you're excited to play in the game and all that. What's maybe one thing, maybe not just the game itself, but one thing you're looking forward to the most with the whole Shrine Bowl experience that whole week?
I would just say playing at the highest level with all the best kids around Nebraska. That's obviously a given. It's going to be awesome to play against the fastest, the strongest. That's pretty much what I'm looking forward to the most.
Cool.
Awesome. Sam, thanks a lot for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you in the Shrine Bowl, man. All right, I think we've got one more player interview before we bring Dave in, and it's a guy I wanted so bad to see on the field, and unfortunately, injuries took their toll. But we're gonna get him on the field at UNK. I have a feeling, and I know Coach Bull out in Wyoming is excited to see this guy on the field as well. Tommy McAvoy from Clarkson Lee is going to join us on here. And Tommy, first of all, congratulations. This got to be a cool honor to be able to play in this game. Injuries being what they were for you throughout your career, but talk about what you're excited for to play in this game again.
For sure, yeah. Thank you for having me. I kind of had some rough luck in high school, not being able to play a lot of football, but having this last chance to be able to go out there and play is a good way to end my high school career.
Tommy, for someone that hasn't followed along with you and your career, this sounds kind of weird, but can you kind of take us through the timeline of what was going on for you throughout the 4 years? We had so much good things happen early, and then kind of one thing kind of led to another, and we didn't get to see a lot in the senior year.
Right. Yeah. So my freshman year, I only got to play 5 games. Midway through the season, I dislocated my elbow, so I missed the rest of the season my freshman year, and then just got rehabbed and came back the whole summer, and fortunately got to play my entire sophomore year, which was awesome. It was a great experience. And then during the summer going into my junior year, had an open gym basketball. I tore my right ACL, missed my entire junior year of sports, and then rehabbed from that and came back. I went to the Warren Academy camp this last summer. That was awesome. That was my first thing back really from my injury. Had a good time at that, just being able to compete again against some of the guys. And then I got to play week 1 against Cross County. I got to play that full game. And then in the first quarter against Elmwood Murdoch, week 2, on a non-contact injury, I was just running the ball and I made a cut on my left leg, and my knee gave out, and I kind of felt it right away that it felt pretty similar to what happened with my right knee. So, and it turns out that I tore my left ACL too. And so now I'm here just recovering from that.
So an elbow and both knees, you are the bionic man at this point.
Yeah, no, I should be all right now. I'm all metal now.
all metal and rubber bands. You'll be
That's
good
right.
forever. Talk real quick about the recruiting process and what led you to Wyoming.
Yeah, so it was after my sophomore season that kind of started picking up a little bit from some schools. Visited quite a few places, and then obviously when COVID hit, that changed a lot. Couldn't go on as many visits as I would have liked to. But I was fortunate enough to visit Wyoming during that stretch where there wasn't any COVID during my junior year. Got to go out there for a game, and I really liked it when I went out there. And I really liked Coach Bull and what they were doing up there. Great coaching staff, and that made my decision pretty easy when it came time to it. I just felt that it was a good fit, and Coach Bull is someone I'm really looking forward to playing for.
You got one last one here. I mean, there's quite a few Nebraskans, especially in this 2021 class, headed to Wyoming. Have you had a chance? I mean, I know Sam, right? But have you had a chance to kind of get to know those guys at all yet?
Yeah, definitely Sam. he was actually, I went to the Boise State game this year, and he was there for that too. And but Tommy from St. Paul and Tice from Pleasanton, both, I haven't really got to talk to him in person, but we share that similarity of being from Nebraska and being able to go play at Wyoming. So I'm looking forward to meeting those guys and building a great relationship with them too.
Cool.
Excuse me.
As Eric yawns or whatever that was.
Got a tickle in the throat. Mike, unless you have anything else, Tommy, thank you for your time and good luck. We look forward to actually seeing you get to play another full game. So excited to have you back on the field, man.
For sure. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
It's really cool. I mean, that you get this opportunity to play after, having bad luck, I guess I'll say.
Yeah, I'm very grateful for this opportunity. Not a lot of kids get to go through this. So I'm just very fortunate and thankful that I was selected for this.
Cool, man. Thanks.
Thank you.
So if my audio gets a little choppy, we actually literally have a snowblower going outside the office right now, and it's not taken. I know that. So somebody's working in downtown anyway. So we're just about done with the show, and again, congratulations to all of the players and the coaches that have been selected for the 63rd edition of the Nebraska Shrine Bowl. We were going to have Dave McDonald join us here in just a second. Dave is the executive director of the Shrine Bowl, and there he is, in fact. So Dave, this is a big event, obviously one of the biggest you guys do all year. The fact that we're planning and get to play this thing again, how nice is that for you?
It's extremely satisfying. There's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes that nobody really understands. And we were extremely fortunate last year that just from really a timing standpoint and whatnot, that we were able to get the medical staffs together, get a plan put together, protocols that we were able to get put together, have the health department and the state of Nebraska sign off. We were able to get the game back in last year. We were the first official football game back this past year, and looking forward to being able to put on another game that can give the fans that are coming and anybody that would be watching on television just a great experience, a great football game between a lot of good football players and coaches who have an enthusiasm for teaching young men and making sure that they're having a good time. So seeing these guys here today, talking to the coaches, we're extremely excited to be moving forward and play this game again this year.
Are you going to have to follow probably some of the same protocols that you did last year as far as testing and all of that stuff?
Yeah, we believe at this point that we're probably going to do exactly what we did last year from a protocol standpoint. There'll be some temperature checks required the week leading up to the game. Again, if anybody should exhibit symptoms or something, they're going to have to go through that 14-day quarantine period or 10-day quarantine period. So we'll see what that ends up being. But we will have some of those same protocols, if not the exact same type of protocols that we did for this year. Just like last year, coming into 2021, our goal is player and coach and volunteer safety. That's at the forefront of what we're doing. We've got the same medical staff involved already again this year. We're in contact with the health department out in Kearney, Two Rivers Public Health. So we'll continue to do those conversations and do everything that we need to do to make sure that we can do this safely. Hopefully this year we're able to have a few more fans in attendance if those things can work out, but we'll do everything we need to keep things safe.
Dave, we talk and have talked for the last hour really about how this is going to be a fun game and it's a great week and experience to bring players and coaches from all over the state together. But we've also heard from the players and the coaches that we've talked to that this week is also about something much bigger than themselves and even the sport of football, and that's the Shriners Hospital. Tell us a little bit about how this game works within the Shriners Hospital and what it does for them.
Yeah, so our game obviously is a charity event put on by the 3 Shrine Centers from across the state of Nebraska. Our goal is to put on an all-star football game and raise funds for Shriners Hospitals for Children. So our net proceeds from this game, 50% goes straight to Tampa to the hospital system itself. And then the other 50% of those net proceeds stay right here in the state of Nebraska to transport parents and their kids who are patients within our hospitals to their appointments, whether that be typically in Minneapolis, maybe Chicago or St. Louis. But we also do Galveston and Boston for burns and several others for for special orthopedic problems. So 50% of that money stays right here in the state to help get those parents. And it's not just transportation. That transportation fund here in Nebraska is paying for the transportation, it's paying for the lodging, and it's paying for the meals for these parents and their kids that are being seen by our doctors. So in the hospital side, it's a huge event as a fundraiser for that. And then we also have both the fraternity side as Shrine Masons that we are always trying to get the message out about what we do, the cause that we support, and obviously being deeply involved in it. It's very near and dear to my heart. It's one of the best charities, I believe, out there. And just to bring some more awareness to the general public about what we're doing and the cause behind it is extremely satisfying.
Excellent. Well, Dave, this has been, it's always fun to do this show. The second time we've done this, took a little different form this year, but we know that you got a lot of the players and coaches there in Lincoln, so we will let you get to lunch on that. And it's been a great partnership with Striv and the Shrine Bowl to be able to produce this show for the last 2 years now, and we look forward to more projects in the future.
That sounds great. I appreciate everything you do for us.
All right. Well, with that, Taylor, I think we've got the rosters out on social media. So, Mike, any parting thoughts as we get ready for another great week in Kearney coming up that first weekend of June?
Yeah, just had to pivot this morning with the snow and got it done. And luckily, technology kind of works in your favor sometimes, and it would have been neat to be there and get pictures and do all that stuff, but maybe next year we'll get back to a little bit more normal.
Yeah, who knows when normal will be back, but we'll be ready for it when it comes. Thanks to Taylor Siebert for producing our show. Mike Sautter has joined us today. Dave McDonald, of course, with the Nebraska Shrine Bowl. My name is Eric Allgood. Thanks for you joining us today on the Selection Show, and we will see you in Kearney the first weekend of June.